Welcome to Manchester United Daily, because that's what it should be called. The Transfer Watch. I typed in transfer rumours. Obviously, I've been researching a lot, and it comes up Manchester United signing.
Google says, did you mean Ronaldo?
Did you mean Ronaldo? Yeah, because that is one of the transfer rumours. So we take our analysis from all across the web, from the resources like the Herald, the Metro, all the trusted UK articles that I look at, but then also from Bleacher Report and some of the more rumour mill filtered
I like Guardian,
segments.
BBC
The Guardian's
Sport
a good one.
BBC
Sport.
BBC Sport has some of the better writers.
Yeah, I believe that they're one of the safest bets, I think, when it comes to the transfer rumours. So we're going to take you through the Transfer Watch because we're interested. We want to know what these teams are doing to strengthen their campaign for next season. Manchester United are a team that we mentioned in one of our previous clips that have to strengthen if they want to win the Premier League season next year. So the first one, according to Alfredo Duno, who is actually a Spanish correspondent, says that Jorge Mendes, who is an agent for both David De Gea and Cristiano Ronaldo, was talking in Manchester not just about De Gea and his possible move to Real Madrid, but about Cristiano Ronaldo potentially going back to Manchester. So I'll tell you how this conversation went, Jason. This is him sitting, he's talking to a Manchester United representative, and he goes, "How's Cristiano?" He goes, "Oh, Cristiano's great. He really loved Manchester when he was here." Bang! He's signing.
Storyline!
Some guy's sitting there with that big thing where you're listening to the conversation, that's it. That's all the news we needed. Cristiano Ronaldo back to Manchester and dropped the pen. So I don't believe that's going to happen this season. No way do I think Cristiano's going to leave at this point. I would be very surprised if he did. I would love to see him back in the Premier League. But whilst him and Messi continue to go head-to-head in the La Liga, I don't think he's going to leave this season. So I don't think there's much rumour. I don't think there's much substance to that rumour. However, sticking with Manchester United, Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Good defender signing, or on the defensive purposes?
Defensive purposes of midfield. I think with the sporadic injuries of people like Daley Blind having to move into left back and coming into defensive mid, from Michael Carrick, who was not in the team towards the end of the season because of injuries, who was so vital at one point, we know that. I think Schweinsteiger would be a fantastic signing. People think he's like 36, 37. I've asked many people, because he's so experienced. He's been in the game for so many years. He's won a lot of trophies, as we know, and that people just imagine him as being like a Scholesian midfielder because he's so experienced.
He's like the Tony Parker, because Tony Parker's 32, and I always thought like, oh, Tony Parker, he's 40 years old. And
it's weird because you judge people on their age by how they perform, like, because he doesn't exert himself too much, but he's in control of the game at all times, and he's a vital part of every team. So the reason why Schweinsteiger may be on the move is because he missed 22 games this season, Bayern Munich. I don't know how comfortable he is there at this moment. An injury, I think mostly through injury.
Is that something to worry about for Manchester United?
I think that would be, because one thing they need to make sure is that they've got players fit, because this season it was horrendous for them in terms of injuries. It was a makeshift back four at times, a makeshift centre midfield partnership. They need someone who can be like Carrick was when he first came to United, consistent, fit, pulling the strings. If Carrick's not going to do it, I think Schweinsteiger, maybe in a new surroundings of the Premier League, he could do it. He would fit into that style of play so well, because he is physical, he gets himself around, and he manages to retain possession.
How much is he going to cash in for? 20 million?
I think it would be a 20 to 30. I think maybe, I don't know. It depends how much it would lure him. I think 20 would be a good enough decision. I think Pep Guardiola wants to keep him, but one big thing to keep in mind for this is Van Gaal is the man. Potentially, some people say that he was the one that changed Schweinsteiger from a wide midfielder into centre mid under his role at Bayern Munich. And I think that was essential for Schweinsteiger's career. And if he's got that in his mind, he might think, all right, Van Gaal could be a good partner, someone to partner with towards the end of his career. I know he's 30, but he's still got, maybe he's heading towards it. Di Maria could be on his way out to PSG, with Van der Waal heading back the way to Manchester to sweeten the deal. You're always interested in this, how you can swap players, right? Because I don't know, it's something that sweetens the deal.
I've read up and understand how the loan program works and the sweeping of players works, and it's different, but I love it.
Yeah, because you can sweeten any. Imagine you're just signing, you're trying to offer so much money for Messi, and you're like, you know what? I'll throw in Rooney, I'll throw in. I mean that's still not going to make enough for Messi. You just throw in whoever you can. Take in as many players. It's somewhat insulting for the players that is being swapped at the time, but in the same way, sometimes players just don't fit into the frame of mind.
That's what I like about it, though, is that, like, yes, insulting to a player because you're looked. These are businesses. Sports programs are run like businesses. You're not looked at as a human being on these teams. You are a piece of paper, which is your contract, and you can only live up to that expectation. Fans will turn on you in a second if you're not living up to your expectation. Yeah. Which basically means they're looking at you and going, huh, paper. Let's go with, get him out of here. I don't even know his last name. Get him out of here. He's not performing to standards. And he's
costing us too much money. Imagine a Real Madrid boss turning around and saying, I don't even know that guy's last name. CR7? Okay, right, whatever.
Ship him to United.
Out you go. So Di Maria might be going to PSG. I could see that happening. I think that is... that holds some weight, that rumour for me.
Speaking of piece of meat, Di Maria is just hopping from one
Yes,
to the next.
well, he obviously, talking about meat, he needs more meat on his bones if he's going to play in the Premier League. Man. That's what he needs. He's frail. He's not physical enough to play in the Premier League. We saw Ronaldo. I consistently talk about this. He started to bulk up. He worked on his physique because the Premier League is physical. And if he goes to France, I'm not saying that league is not as physical, but maybe he might be able to play with a little bit more time because you're not as pressured as much as you are in the Premier League. So maybe it might fit him
How many players have played in 3 different leagues? Di Maria's played La Liga, Premier League, and then if he does go to League One, okay, so it's 4 leagues like a thing? Like
I think 4 leagues probably a maximum. Like you're then considered a league whore. You're just hopping between about a amount of leagues.
You're a piece of meat.
Yeah.
You're a man whore.
I mean, Ibrahimovic has played in the Serie A, La Liga, Dutch League, and the French League now.
Yes, but Zlatan does what he likes.
Zlatan does as he pleases.
Nobody tells Zlatan what to do.
No, exactly. Gundogan, who I love as a player. Dortmund's holding midfielder. I think he would be another good signing for Manchester United. Arsenal are apparently paving the way to sign him. I think that he'd be a good signing for them.
A great pickup
a great pickup for them. Also sticking with Arsenal, Benzema. They're according to BBC, who are a reliable source, say that they're weighing up a big bid for Benzema. And I know Benzema actually liked Ancelotti a lot. Him, Ronaldo, a lot of their players vocalised their opinion when Ancelotti left. So I think that Benzema might be moving with Ancelotti out.
I'm happy we brought up Benzema. I think Benzema was one of the most mature players on that Real Madrid team, and I also think he's not the fastest guy. Yeah. And that could obviously pose a problem if you're trying to do like a big counterattack offense. But once he gets into the box, the guy's got moves and he can create space and he can score. He also creates opportunities when he's there, and he's unselfish.
There's another one that maybe is just... He does score a lot of goals, but same with Ronaldo partnering him, he doesn't thrive as much as he could.
He's not the right partner for Ronaldo. I think Benzema overall is one of the more underrated strikers in the game. He does stay fit. He's in good shape. He could go to, was it Arsenal?
I think Arsenal could be a good team.
I think he would be extremely successful in the Premier League, and I think he could score more than 15 goals next season.
In retrospect, that might upset Giroud, who didn't play at the forefront of France's attack in the World Cup because Benzema was the main striker. Giroud was pushed off to the side.
Put it behind you so you can win a championship and get the Premier League. At least, look, you can win. Anybody's obviously in the Premier League could win a Premier League title, but they also have to focus on making themselves more of a contender in Europe overall. Yeah. Bringing people like Benzema over could be part of the reason why Arsenal, they're not finishing. They finished top 4?
Finished 3rd.
They finished 3rd. There you go.
They're in the Champions League.
So you're also focusing on Champions League for next year, not just a Premier League title.
But I think with Arsenal now, it's to the point that Arsenal fans are getting so tired because it's like, all right, we made the Champions League. They want trophies. They need trophies. Arsenal, they have the chance to win the FA Cup this weekend. We know that, but that's
not a great.
It's a good trophy, but they want Premier League titles. They want Champions League. Looking back at the glory days, where they had a lot of French players. Who Robert Perez, they had Vieira, Thierry Henry. Those guys were so instrumental, and I think that Arsene Wenger needs to make some big signings. He did make a big signing this year with Sanchez.
Why is his name not Arsenal Wenger?
I would change the last part of his name, Arsenal Wenger. Why have you got a soft spot for French people, by the way? I always meant to ask you that. Do you like French people? Pogba, Benzema.
I think they're very, I don't know, actually, then you make that point. Pogba, Benzema, even Franck Ribéry, who my lookalike, I should say. Very flashy in a very subtle, unselfish way.
I like the
I mean, yeah, sure. I like the way they share the ball. I think they distribute really well. I guess I'm putting it together in my head right now, but yeah, I like the French team. I think that they play a very fun form of football.
Nice. I like the way you saved that. I thought you were going to be like, I met a French girl. She was cute. That's why.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's on
Any
the list,
French
though.
girls waiting.
It's on the list of people.
Rounding up the rest of the transfer rumours, I think this is mostly all in the Premier League because the Premier League, as we know, is one of the most active in the transfer market. We haven't heard as much from Barcelona yet, apart from Xavi moving out, as we know, heading over to Qatar. But Dani Alves is said that he hasn't been shown as much respect at Barcelona as he deserves to be shown, and he has been a great fullback for them for years. So he might be moving to Manchester United if he's not shown that respect. No way is he going to go. How are they going to fit all these players in, man? The parking lot is going to be extended.
Man United's going to come into the 25th. What's the max amount of players you can have in your roster?
I have no idea.
Okay, Man United's coming in with 95 players, and they're going to have like basically a tryout.
Yeah, imagine if you are like a Man United player in the ranks. Someone like Raphael, who's a good fullback, who's been struggling with injuries, and you're seeing every day you're looking on the internet, it's like, Gundogan's going to come, right? Dani Alves is going to come. When the fuck am I going to get a chance to get back in the team?
That's when, if you're smart, you demand a trade to a different team so you can at least make some money of your own.
Yeah, and Peter Cech, as we know, fell out of favour at Chelsea's #1 spot with Courtois in there. If David De Gea moves, Cech might be moving to Manchester United. So, as I said, I warned you at the start of the clip, check anywhere on the internet, it's called Manchester United Daily, because that's what it is.
That says TYT United.
That is TYT United here. Do you know that's the name of my FIFA Ultimate Team, was TYT United?
That's great. Mine's Spaghetti FC.
It was awful.
Spaghetti, I swear to God, Spaghetti Football Club.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about the transfer watch. Who would you like to see move between teams? Is there a transfer that we've missed out that you want to talk about? I'm sure there is. There's plenty of transfers going on at the moment. I think it'll be more active, obviously, once the Champions League final is finished. Maybe there'll be some big names moving after the Copa America, which we will be covering here on TYT Sports.